All right, gravitational potential energy, that's the lesson for today, and total mechanical energy. Let's talk about that. I kind of touched on this in the last lesson, but I'm going to go deep into understanding what this means in terms of the concept of work and energy and all of that. Okay, gravitational potential energy and mechanical energy. And the learning goals for this one is very simple. We need to understand what it is, we need to understand how to use the formula for it, which is right there, and mgh, which is basically the work formula, fd. We talked about that in the last lesson. And understanding the reference levels, zero height, what does that mean, and then defining mechanical energy. All right, and in this situation usually we are dealing with a frictionless system. That's what we are using, or at least we are referencing. All right, and then here's another thing: the total mechanical energy of a system is the total kinetic energy and the potential energy of that system. Okay, so here it is. Recognize that energy transformation goes from kinetic to the gravitational potential energy, and it goes back and forth. Okay, once the object starts moving, it loses its gravitational potential energy and gains kinetic energy. Important concept that you have to remember: the GPE, gravitational potential energy, depends on height change, right there, not absolute height. Okay, the height change that matters. Choosing the zero level is arbitrary, so we need to define that. Mechanical energy is conserved with no friction acting on it. Okay, so when no friction is acting on it, it is mechanical energy is conserved, and energy can transform, but total amount of energy will stay constant in ideal cases. Now, this part right here, we call it mechanical energy is conserved when no friction acts, and you can see why, because friction creates heat, and heat is the form of energy. All right, let's look at an example. Example one, we're going to calculate the gravitational potential for this situation where we have a 3 kg object is lifted 2.5 meters. All right, so what do we have? We have the potential gravitational potential energy is equal to mgh. We have m is equal to 3.0 kg, and we have g is 9.8 meters per second squared. We need to define that. When it's coming down is positive, when it's going up is negative, and we have the height, which is 2.5 meters. All right, plug numbers in and be aware that is lifting off. Now this one is gravitational potential, so it means it's lifted. That means it's stored energy. Okay, it's not moving, right? So when we plug in the values here, they're all positive because it's just holding that energy within it. It's the stored energy. When you plug numbers in, this is what you will get. Here is what you have when you plug in the numbers, and you get 73.5 joules. The unit is the same. Okay, so that's how much you will have for the gravitational potential energy. All right, let's look at another question. Let's look at the change in gravitational potential energy. Okay, so in this case, we're looking at delta PE. Okay, and now that is basically coming from the change in the height or the displacement. And it's very simple. What is the change in displacement? The change in displacement is 1.4 meters. It started at 1 meters, then has moved up to 2.4. So that the difference between the two is 1.4 meters. And then you're just going to go ahead and plug in the numbers in MGH. This is the easiest way to do this. Okay, you can do it the long way, where you can do the potential energy before, or final potential energy minus the initial potential energy, and then you can as well do that. But this is the fastest and easiest way to do that, and like plug numbers in. And in this case, remember, your H is 1.4 meters. It's not 2.4, it's not 1. You have the mass is 1.2 and G is 9.8 meters per second squared. Plug numbers in and get the value. And when you do the calculation, you get 16.5 joules. Now, be aware and be careful that every time that you see the unit, these units, they must be in meters, and then we have kg. If any of these not a standard derived unit for potential energy or kinetic energy or work, you need to go back and make sure they are in that specific unit. All right, if they show up in kilometers or the mass shows up in tons or pounds or anything else or ounces, doesn't matter. It needs to go back to the standard unit, SI derived unit for the energy. All right, let's look at another question. Here's another example. We have mass is 0.5 kg. We have the height is 3.0 meters, and we want to know what the GPE is, or potential gravitational potential, PE. While we're at it, we're going to talk about the kinetic energy. All right, so remember that at any given time, the loss in GPE is equal to the gain in kinetic. The moment the object moves, it loses its potential energy, gravitational potential, and gains kinetic energy. So if we calculate the potential energy, which is mgh, that is the maximum amount of energy for kinetic energy as it moves. That's how much it gains, right? So let's figure out what that is. Plug numbers in. So that is 14.7 joules, but I need to add something here. Now, this is the potential energy, which is equal to the kinetic energy. But remember that the total loss in the potential energy is equal to the total gain in the kinetic energy. But the maximum value is this 14.7 joules for this system. And the last one is a mechanical energy conservation. Okay, and remember, the mechanical energy conservation is that the total potential energy, the gravitational potential energy, must equal to the total kinetic energy, right? So this has to hold. So mgh must equal to 1/2 mv squared, because the potential energy, the total, must equal to the kinetic energy total. This is the conservation of energy and mechanical energy. All right, now we need to set this equation like that, but notice that mass here and the mass there are the same mass, so you can actually divide and you'll be okay. Just get rid of those, but the new formula will end up being GH is equal to V squared. We are solving for the speed. That's what it's asking you. So you got a 2 kg mass slides down a frictionless 1.8 meters ramp. What is its speed? Well, all we have to do, we just have to plug in the numbers and find the speed. Now remember that this 1.8 meter ramp, that's the height of the ramp, right? So this is 1.8 meter right there. Okay, so we have the height, we have the mass, we have the acceleration due to gravity, 9.8 meters per second squared, and then plugged in there. And notice that we're solving for v, so we have to take the square root of gh. All right, plug numbers in, and you'll get the square root of 9.8 meters per second squared times 1.8 meters, and your answer will be 4.2 meters per second. Okay, and we used the idea of mechanical energy conservation, or conservation of mechanical energy, to solve this problem. And then we basically set the gravitational potential energy equal to kinetic energy, and then we solve, because this conservation must hold. All right, make sure you check out the quiz in the description below, and make sure you come back and look at the next lesson in the series. Okay, until next time.